Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 6:30, and I will call this regular meeting of the Burnsville City Council to order. It is our tradition to stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and we invite you to join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have announcements for our upcoming meetings. Regular meetings, City Council meetings are scheduled for Tuesday, June 19th and July 3rd at 6:30 p.m. We have a work session meeting scheduled for Tuesday, June 12th at 6:30 p.m. and a special work session scheduled for Tuesday, June 26th at 6:30 p.m. And that particular meeting is for the Audit Committee and Finance, Plan, and Transit Merchants. This evening is a very special evening for us here in Burnsville. So I'm going to go to that side for the proclamation and for the awards for I Love Burnsville Week essays. Members of the council, staff, and citizens of Burnsville, today is truly a very special day for us here in Burnsville. It is a first in Burnsville. We're here to honor Michael Coughlin, who has achieved academic excellence. And Michael, thank you for allowing us to make a fuss over you, so I would like for you to come. You see, Michael, because this is about you, but there are benefits to our community for your academic excellence. Your achievements are an inspirational to the young people that are here today and those who are watching us. And your passion and commitment to your work in physics and to gravitational wave and everything that you have achieved is truly an inspiration to not only the adults who admire you and your work, but also to the young people who are coming. You see, Michael, we, your mayor and city council, have adopted our focus on science, technology, health, engineering, and mathematics. So what you are doing as a Burnsville resident is really highlighting our focus on really elevating academic excellence in these fields. Because what we need for tomorrow's workforce, Michael, is knowledge and intelligence and the skill set for our industry. So thank you for the work that you have done and that you will continue to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, the proclamation honoring Michael W. Coughlin. Whereas on June 9th, 2012, Michael Coughlin will graduate from Carleton College in Northfield, Minnesota, double majoring in physics and mathematics, having received numerous awards, including but not limited to the Patricia V. Damon Scholar Award, the National Merit Scholar Award 2008 to 2012, the Distinguished Scholar Award 2008-2012, the Colin Powell Ritz Physics Research Fellowship, and whereas this degree comes with the highest honor, summa cum laude, and Phi Beta Kappa recognition. And whereas as a lifelong Burnsville resident, Michael attended Sky Oaks Elementary School in Burnsville and Trinity High School at River Ridge in Eagan, Minnesota. Whereas in his college years, he regularly volunteered helping students at Sky Oaks Elementary with homework and in various activities at his local church, helping high school students with physics-related presentations at his old high school, and tutoring other college students in physics and mathematics. And whereas he has authored and co-authored numerous published physics-related articles in technical journals and made presentations on the subject of gravitational wave at various conferences in the United States and Europe. And whereas in January of 2012, Michael was chosen for the prestigious Winston Churchill Scholarship to study for a master's degree in astronomy at Cambridge University in the United Kingdom, an award given annually to only 14 college seniors or recent graduates in the United States. Whereas Michael embodies the essence of the Churchill Scholarship selection criteria: exceptional academic talent and outstanding achievements, a capacity to contribute to the advancement of knowledge in the science, engineering, or mathematics by pursuing original, creative work at an advanced level, outstanding personal qualities. And whereas in March of 2012, Michael also received the prestigious National Science Foundation Scholar Award, and where he will study for his PhD in physics at Harvard University beginning in the fall of 2013, subsequent to his Cambridge study. This offer including a 6-year fellowship covering all of his expenses. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Elizabeth Kautz, Mayor of the City of Burnsville, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby heartily commend Mr. Coughlin for his exceptional and outstanding academic and other achievements, and do hereby proclaim Saturday, June 9th, as Michael W. Coughlin Day in Burnsville. Proclaim this 5th day of June, 2012. And if you can, Marty, also if Michael's parents and brother, if Councilmember Coughlin, please come forward. So we have pictures of the parents of this exceptional young man. You stand on the side of him nicely. And here you go.
All right, everybody look this way first on 3. Sure.
Very good. You're very welcome. Michael, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Into the microphone.
Yes.
Okay. So, after all that, I have to say I'm very incredibly grateful and it's just unbelievably humbled by all of this kind of hubbubaloo about the awards and things like that. So I have a number of people I need to thank, so please bear with me. First, God. Thank you, God. And Mayor Kautz. This is just also unbelievable. Of course, City Council and the entire city of Burnsville. So going back in time, of course, Kay Becky's in the crowd. And so back at Sky Oaks, all my teachers, so Kay and Sally Ricks, Sheila Check, and Nancy Brandt, kind of set me out on this long journey. Moving on to high school at Trinity, my teachers there who inspired me to go into science, David O'Hanley, Steve Hendrickson, John Vogel, they're the ones who encouraged me to start in physics and continue on. And of course, I couldn't have done any of this without my professors at Carleton, very specifically my mentor, who's Nelson Christensen, with all the support to accomplish any of the physics that I've done. Similarly, the people who believed in me, the fellowship director, Liz Seiner, and Professor Susan Singer, who encouraged me to even bother applying for the Churchill Award. Kind of finally, my research advisors from outside of Carleton, the postdocs who are working at Caltech now, Eric Thrain and Jan Harms, they're the ones who have driven me to write those papers that the mayor was talking about. Finally, my parents, my brother, Uncle Red, everyone who's supported me through all this time. Finally, I'd like to say that I'm very proud to represent America at Cambridge as a Churchill Scholar, and I intend to work very hard as a scientist in my years ahead and hope that my work will inspire others. So, thank you.
Michael. And Michael is an exceptional young man because not only is he brilliant intellectually, but he also performs. And he does all of these volunteer work, but he's also an artist. He's a performer. And so one of these days I will get to see him perform because I want to.
Not today.
Well, thank you, Michael, for allowing us to make a fuss over you because for me, this is really, really a first for Burnsville, and I'm so proud of you and what you have achieved. And so all of the young people who are here in the audience today, I hope that they will find inspiration in what you have achieved. And this is going to be playing throughout Burnsville on cable TV, so they'll all be seeing it over and over again. So, and now we will move on to the next part of our presentations this evening, and this is for I Love Burnsville Week. And I'd like to invite our partner and the co-sponsor of this effort between the City of Burnsville and U.S. Federal Credit Union, Chairman and CEO Bill Raker. Please come forward, sir. Thank you so much for the partnership and really also promoting excellence in academics through the essay contest that we have for I Love Burnsville. So, ladies and gentlemen, the format for the essay contest is that all third graders in all of the schools within the boundaries of Burnsville, both 191 and 196, are invited to submit a one-page essay completing the line, I love Burnsville because. And Marty Kelly of U.S. Federal Credit Union and I reviewed the essays and selected 3 winners. It wasn't an easy process. Every year it seems to me that it gets harder and harder. And each winning student receives a $50 check from Mr. Raker, plus a $50 check goes to the school attended by the student. So this year we received 185 entries from Burnsville elementary schools. They were delightful. They were humorous. Some of the essays that we read, some of them were truly quite well done. But we had to choose only 3 winners. So Bill, if you're ready.
We're ready.
Okay. So I don't know if you have any remarks to make to our winners or...
Well, I would like to say a word.
Yes,
if I
please.
may.
Absolutely.
Yes. Madam Mayor and City Council, thank you for the opportunity to participate in this very fun and exciting event, the I Love Burnsville Week and the Essay Contest. U.S. Federal is proud and pleased to be a sponsor again this year. And as the Mayor mentioned, we'd like to present to each of the winners a check for $50 and an invitation to open a savings account at U.S. Federal. This is a very special evening, not just because of the recognition of these young people who've shown their civic spirit and come forward with the opportunity to be recognized and honored, but to be here with Michael Conklin this evening, who, by the way, I noticed one of the winners is from the same school, Sky Oak, right?
Yes.
That he attended. A great inspiration to all of them, and again, thanks for the opportunity to be here and participate with you.
Now let's call up our third place winner to read her essay, and that is Sylvia Larson from Sky Oaks, Mrs. Black's class. Sylvia Larson, and it is her birthday today.
I love Burnsville because of the heart of the city. The heart of the city is a beautiful place. The fountains in the art center are beautiful. Sometimes they perform band concerts, and they are awesome. I also like the Performing Arts Center too. The Performing Arts Center has very good paintings and awesome plays. When you are on the second level and look out the window, it is a beautiful view of the heart of the city. I have lots of fun there, and I think you will too.
Yes, you're going to have to.
Here's a nice certificate for you that says I Love Burnsville 2012 Essay Contest winner, Sylvia.
It's so cute.
Now, Sylvia, this one is for you, and this one is for your teacher, so you can share that with your teacher.
Is Mrs. Black here? Yes, please come. Maybe we can have a picture with her too.
Since you won this for your teacher, you can
Yes.
present it to her.
Okay.
Congratulations. again.
Congratulations. And Mr. Raker, our second place winner comes from Sioux Trail, Mrs. Engdahl's class, and that is Kathy Dow. No.
I love Burnsville because I live in Burnsville. There are schools like elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. They have rivers and lakes. There are different centers in Burnsville. They have the rivers for senior citizens. There's a 5K run. They have a performing arts center. There's cozy houses in Burnsville. There are some stores. There are some fast food restaurants. There's Buck Hill for people that can go skiing. There's lots of parks. There are bike trails to ride bikes. They have 4th of July fireworks. There's the tree lighting ceremony. They have the heart of the city in Burnsville.
Very nice, Kathy. Here's a certificate for you.
And now, if your teacher could come up.
Sorry.
Yes,
Hold on.
Mrs. Engdahl. And I see your principal, Mr. Tabor, is here too.
Marty doubled up on me.
Okay.
This one is for you, Kathy. Okay? This one is for the school and the teacher. So many things for you to hold on to.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And our first place winner also comes from Sioux Trail, also Mrs. Engdahl's class, and that is Allison Erickson. Allison, please come.
I love Burnsville because of our beautiful community and our kind citizens. I like the citizens because sometimes you meet new people at different places, like meeting a girl at the park. I also love our community because when I see people cleaning up the environment, it makes me feel good deep down inside. Another thing I like about our community is the farmers markets. I also love the Dakota County Library because when I get my nose into a book, I can't stop reading. That's why I love Burnsville.
Okay, if Mrs. Engel can come up, please.
This is for you, Kathy.
Must be nice to have
I mean, Alice.
Yeah.
And there were
Sioux Trail, that makes sense.
All right. Ready? Thank you so much, Allison, and continue the good work. Thank you so much.
my pleasure. See you here
And,
next year.
Yes, it's a date. Okay, great. Thank you. Now, on to the next item on our agenda, and that is citizens' comments. This is the opportunity for anyone in the audience to address the council on an item that is not on the printed agenda and not an application form that will be coming before us at a future date. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the council?
Oh, you do.
Do I need to use this step?
I think you would, so at least we could see you.
This is the first
Mr.
time,
Nachman?
this is the first time anybody shorter than I has been up here. So thank you. Mayor,
Welcome.
members of the City Council, my name is Len Nachman, and I'm here to update some information on a new active organization for Burnsville, the Dakota County History Society. In 1976, the Bicentennial Committee produced a history book for Burnsville. In the year 2000, some of the folks that worked on it put together another history book. For the past year and a half, a number of us have been working together to try to bring history in the forefront back to Burnsville. And so we've been working together, and I'd like to introduce Chad Roberts, the Executive Director of the Dakota County Historical Society, and then I have two other people to make a few comments. But before I do that, I can't stand it. This is too much. I have to congratulate Coughlin's, especially Michael. My grandson also won that award, and with talking with him, I have never understood one thing that he says. He studies.
Okay. Good evening and welcome, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and ladies and gentlemen of the City Council. My name is Chad Roberts. I'm the Executive Director of the Dakota County Historical Society, and I really don't know how to follow three exceptional third graders and a remarkable young man who's setting off to probably change the world.
Yes, he is.
So one of the things we do at the Historical Society is track exceptional people and keep track of the exceptional things that they do. So I expect we'll be learning more about all of these young folks here in the near future. In any case, I'm only going to speak for about a minute and then introduce the other gentleman here. The Dakota County Historical Society has been around for 73 years. We have 5 chapters until just recently, and we added a 6th, the Burnsville Historical Society, a chapter of ours. They are now joining the ranks of more than 45 partners that we work with to deliver 75 public programs and exhibitions every year, reaching about 90,000 people countywide. Most of them off-site at places like the Burnsville Performing Arts Center, an organization we've worked with since it opened. So with that, I would just like to say thank you for having us. We're very excited to have a new chapter here in Burnsville with a small group of very committed people, 2 of which will be talking a little bit more about that. Jeff Jurdy and Jim Disick. So if they could come up here, please, and speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Jurdy, it's good to see you.
Nice to see you again. I made the mistake in talking to John Dedsey one day of mentioning I was a history major at St. Olaf. And I'm happy to say that we are now able to offer our building at 190 River Ridge as the Burnsville headquarters for the Burnsville Historical Society. Now, I know Len told me to start out saying something historical, so about 1,000 years ago, when I was in college, I was lucky enough to study in Japan, and my English-speaking Japanese host student one day mentioned that her major was American history. Now, I got very excited because we were getting along well, and she was a lovely young woman, and I said, "Wow, why did you choose American history?" And she said, "Easy. It's the easiest major there is. Americans have so little history." Well, whether we do have little history or not, all of our stories are important. And there are many stories that have enriched our lives and will continue to enrich our lives. And those of us who've been bitten by the history bug really get that. And we want to do what we can to be a resource to Burnsville and to the educational community. And we've started out by launching a website. So burnsvillehistory.org is currently alive and kicking on the web. And the wonderful tech guys have allowed me to show you here. burnsvillehistory.org. burnsvillehistory.org. Easy to find. And when you find it, you will see, we hope, some wonderful things, and we're always open to new ideas. We have, for instance, just put on the digital version of the 1976 history. And that is in, I think, this icon. Well, no, it's not in that icon. Well, let me click on it. It will load very quickly here. The 2000 history was scanned today and will be online very soon, because these are wonderful resources, and we're just taking advantage of the strong work that was done for us by others in the past. So you will find the history online, and soon there will be a searchable history. So one will be able to put in things like Len Nachman and find all the instances of Len Nachman or Orchard Lake or Sioux Trail. So we invite you to enjoy that site. There are some other features, thanks to John Dedzay's work. The Google Map version of Burnsville, which shows icons of important, interesting things. And when you click on them, you can get information. Now, everybody knows that you don't learn a website by listening to someone talk about it. You get online and explore it yourself. You will even see some videos here. John Dedzay, again, has provided some videos, like St. John the Baptist Catholic Cemetery, and more to come. We also post some other things. For instance, John Gessner has just written an article about a Burnsville author, Nancy Huddleston, who's written an editorial about Savage. We have good neighbors and historical neighbors in Savage and Apple Valley that we like to call Hamilton and Lebanon. That's what their names really are. But that's the report. burnsvillehistory.org. Please bookmark it and let us know how we're doing. We really want new members. We really want members who represent not only Northern Europeans sitting around the table. We have lots of richness in this community, and we need everybody represented, because history is what happened just a few minutes ago. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jurdy. And welcome, Mr. Denzig.
How you doing? Tonight, all I want to indicate is that thanks to Len and to get the opportunity that he started forming this historical group. But through my travels, I travel quite a bit through Burnsville and other communities, and I get an opportunity to speak to a number of different citizens at all different ages, really. And they start telling me stories about their history. And when you look in their eyes, they get so excited about it. It's really like a symphony. It's like there's a beauty to history. Some of the hard edges get softer and the low ones come up. and it flows. And all of a sudden, when you start talking to someone, they want to tell you about their past or someone else's past. And there was no way that I felt, it's great that I hear this, but how do you share it? How do you turn around and get it out to other people so that they can be benefactors of it? So when Len turned around and mentioned that he started this historical group, it was my chance. And luckily, on a given day, I ran into Jeff, and with us, things started clicking, and we're really excited to be part of this historical group, part of Burnsville, and why are we here, and it makes us all better citizens by understanding what our past is. So I'm excited about it, and hopefully you are, and we all check out burnsvillehistory.org many, many times, because there's going to be a lot of stuff coming up. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And tonight, something phenomenal happened here in Burnsville. We have a scholar that is exceptional, that ought to be in the history of Burnsville, too. So I hope that you will record that for our history.
Absolutely.
That's exactly why. We also have a great skier from Burnsville.
Yes.
So I just thought of, we have a lot of ideas, but that's exactly, you can't help but get that and have a place where we can put it electronically and also have a physical presence right now at the River Ridge, at 190 River Ridge. So thanks, Len.
I just have to add, my son never quite got to that place, although he graduated from Burnsville High School. It took 2 generations for my genes to work their way through to. I'd just like to say that we have 2 activities taking place in the near future. The first is the International Festival of Burnsville. We will have a history booth there. We also are going to represent the United States booth there. Second, at the Art and All That Jazz, we will also have a booth there. So thank you for putting up with us. I'm going to leave this. It's a highlights of Burnsville history, so you can glance through it. If you have any questions, you can ask someone else.
Well,
Thank you again.
And thank you. And just don't leave just yet, because we want to congratulate you, but I'm going to have Councilmember Coughlin.
First of all, would you state your grandson's full name?
Benjamin Nachman.
I'd just like to say, as a parent of a young man that was lucky enough to be chosen one of the Churchills, I'd like to congratulate you and your family for your grandson also being a Churchill scholar. There's only 14 that were selected, and he attended Cornell, and I know from reading up on each one, he graduated with high honors, and he comes from Omaha, Nebraska, and that's an amazing thing. And as you and I talked about before the meeting, the Churchill scholars get to spend a lot of time together, go travel together, and we'll get to know each other very well. And then I see that they then meet, have annual meetings thereafter for many years. So thank you to your family and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And thank you, Mr. Nachman, for bringing the chapter, the historical chapter, to Burnsville. Thank you so much for all of your hard work.
That's my pleasure.
Yes, I know you've been a part of the history of Burnsville way back. So thank you. We will now move on. The next item is for emergency items only, and this is for additions to the agenda. Mr. Ebling, are there any emergency items?
Staff has none, Madam Mayor.
Members of the council, any emergency items? Okay, we will move on. The next is the consent agenda. This is a group of items that's considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. However, an item can be removed from the consent agenda for a separate discussion and vote. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes an item on the consent agenda to be removed for a separate discussion and vote? Mr. Ebling?
None from staff, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Members of the council. Councilmember Gustafson.
I'd like to pull item K, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Councilmember Sherry.
I'd like to pull items M, N, O, and R.
Okay. K, M, N, O, and R are pulled. May I have a motion for the balance, please?
So moved.
Second.
Councilmember Sherry makes a motion, second by Councilmember Gustafson. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Councilmember Gustafson, consider an ordinance amending Title III, Chapter 20 regarding transit merchants.
I asked that be pulled, Madam Mayor. While it affects many merchants in our city, it also affects a company that I own, and that would represent a conflict of interest. So I will recuse myself from that vote.
Okay. Members of the council, K is to consider an ordinance amending Title III, Chapter 20 regarding transit merchants. Ms. Faulkner, would you like to just, for our listening audience, present K?
Sure. Madam Mayor, members of the council, this item takes a provision where a conditional use permit was required for a transient merchant and makes it more administrative as long as the transient merchant is vending to employees of a business. It's not vending to the general public, and certain conditions have to be met, like being invited by the property owner or having their permission, and not advertising to the public in that. So it's more of a business-to-business transaction and for special events that companies want to have for their employees.
Okay, thank you. Members of the council, any questions? I think there is just one question that staff also mentioned. There are two things that we can do. We can, if this passes this evening, we can affect it immediately, or it can wait for publication. And I'm going to ask Mr. Ebling, have we in the past made effective an ordinance that we pass at the same time?
Madam Mayor, by my recollection, we have done that on some occasions. It's not our typical standard thing, but there have been some instances where we have made ordinances effective immediately.
Okay. So, Councilmember Sherry.
Oh, well, I just want to ask our attorney if there's any problem with that.
None.
Okay. Okay. So, members of the council, your pleasure.
Effective immediately, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Then I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Councilmember Sherry makes the motion, second by Councilmember Coughlin. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. And the motion carries. And the clerk show that one member is abstaining from the vote. Thank you. And Councilmember Sherry, M is to authorize the project and approve the plans and specifications and order the advertisements for bid for the SRTS Sioux Trail Elementary improvement.
Madam Mayor, I asked this to be pulled simply because I want the public to know more about this. I think it's something that is a good thing. It is a safe route to Sioux Trail School. We already have one for Echo Park School, and I'm glad to see we were able to get a grant to help facilitate this and get it into place. It's going to make it safer and easier for more children to walk to school, which we all know is good for them. So I have nothing more to add on that. If somebody else wants to say something, bye.
Any thoughts, comments? If not, a motion is in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Councilmember Coughlin makes the motion, second by Councilmember Gustafson. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. N is to consider approval of a public improvement and special assessment agreement with Burnsville Sanitary Landfill, Inc. for the railroad crossing at Washburn Avenue. Councilmember Sherry.
Madam Mayor, this one is really, I want to address that along with item O, which each one calls out two different companies. One is Burnsville Sanitary Landfill, and the other one is Kramer Mining. They worked very, very hard with staff, and staff deserves a lot of credit for this, to get the railroad crossing reopened at Washburn. Long range, this is going to benefit the community tremendously overall. So I want to thank everybody involved. And it's one of those things that just wouldn't even be noticed, except I wanted people to notice it. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Sherry. And
so I move to approve first M and
N and O.
And M and N. M. Oh, I'm sorry. M. Yeah. N and O. Yeah, I misspoke. I get my M's and N's mixed up. Yes.
There's a motion to approve N and O.
Second.
A second by Councilmember Coughlin. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. And yes, thank you to our staff and to these two companies. That was hard lifting, and Mr. Ebling and Mr. Albrecht, thank you for all of your hard work. It had a great conclusion. Thank you. Councilmember Sherry, the R is the approve the city manager's letter of understanding.
Madam Mayor, once again, I wanted to bring this to the public's attention because when we do the review of the city manager's performance, which we do annually, we never fail to talk for almost 2 hours about what a wonderful job he does. So I think that it is important for the community as a whole to know that when we reach this agreement with the city manager about his salary for the next year, that we really have been feeling that he serves the city so well and serves all of us council members well, and he brings the best out of city staff. So I want to thank him for that, and with that I move to approve.
I'd like to make
Councilmember,
a...
did you want to
I
second?
move to, yeah.
And then we can talk.
Okay,
Second.
sorry.
Yeah, Councilmember
Okay.
Sherry makes the motion, second by Councilmember Coughlin. Now discussion. Okay.
I was just also going to say that to our citizens that notwithstanding that we believe we have a fantastic, amazing city manager, that his salary level is at best mid-range, and there are city managers close by where they make over $20,000 a year more and have greater benefits, so that I just want people to know that that we just have a great city manager for a very reasonable cost.
Yes. And I know, Mr. Ebling, that saying saying the things that we say about you and raising your excellence, sometimes we know it makes you uncomfortable, but I hope that you know how much we appreciate the work that you do, not only for us but for our citizens, and that you bring great value. And I want our citizens also to know that his direct reports, because we do a 360 review, speak very highly of Mr. Ebling. And so, and you have guided this organization through some very tough times, and through some of the very difficult times when we had to make cuts in personnel. It was difficult, but you held the organization together each and every day, so we want to thank you.
Thank you for those very kind words.
We have a motion on the table and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. We now move on to the first item on the regular agenda, and this is a public hearing. Our city clerk, Michelle Brooks, is going to be presenting. This is to consider approval of the Sunday on-sale liquor license for Burnsville Restaurant Group, LLC, doing business as Burnsville Ale House. This is located at 3809 Highway 13 West. Ms. Brooks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, City Council. Yes, we did receive an application. This is for an on-sale liquor license, including Sunday on sale, for the Burnsville Ale House. This was previously the Edge Bar and Grill on Highway 13. This license will be effective starting July 1st and will not be issued until all the necessary inspections have been completed and insurance and appropriate fees submitted. The police department has completed a background investigation on the principals involved and found no reason to deny the license. I stand for any questions, and this is a public hearing.
Members of the council, any questions for Ms. Brooks? Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone to speak to this item? Is there anyone to speak to this item? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing. Did you want to speak? No? Okay. Okay. Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing. Members of the council, your pleasure.
Move to approve.
Second.
Councilmember Sherry makes a motion, second by Councilmember Gustafson. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Are you from the Ale House? Yes. Congratulations. Yes, okay.
Madam Mayor, could I say something?
Yes, please.
I had your ground beef barbecue dog. Very good.
Okay. We now move on to item number 6. Item 6 is also a public hearing, and this is to consider approval of an on-sale Sunday on-sale liquor license for Steak America, Inc., doing business as Steak America, located at 2400 Cliff Road. Ms. Brooks.
Thank you. We did receive an application for on-sale liquor license, Steak America. This would be formerly Asian Buffet and Denny's. The license will be effective July 1st and will not be issued until the necessary inspections have been completed, the necessary insurance and fees have been submitted. The police department has completed a background investigation on the principals involved and found no reason to deny the license. I stand for any questions. This is a public hearing.
Any questions for Ms. Brooks? This is a public hearing. I will open the public hearing. Is there anyone to speak to this item? Is there anyone to speak to this item? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing. Member of the council.
Move to approve?
Second.
Councilmember Sherry makes the motion, second by Councilmember Coughlin. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. The next item is also a public hearing, and this is to consider renewal of off-sale, on-sale Sunday on-sale wine, 3.2% on-sale and 3.2% off-sale liquor license. Ms. Brooks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is our annual renewal of all of our liquor license, and we kind of do this all in a group. All of these, of course, have passed previous background checks, and all the approvals are subject to the obligations that they have with the state, county, and city, being current and all lodging taxes being up to date. The license will not be released until proof of payment is provided, and although required fees and documents are submitted. There are a couple of changes from last year. We no longer have the Edge, Prime Time, and Maddie's Lanes from last year. Ernie's Pub and Grill is a new renewal this year. We also have Gateway Stop and Go, who's no longer providing 3.2 off sale. All the investigations will be conducted and no licenses will be issued if if there is any reason found to deny. I stand for any question. A public hearing is required.
Questions for Ms. Brooks? This is a public hearing. Is there anyone to speak to this item? Is there anyone to speak to this item? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing. Members of the council, your pleasure.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Councilmember Coughlin makes the motion, second by Councilmember Gustafson. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Thank you. The next item is item number 8, and this is to consider approval of a Black Dog Power Plant Road Access Improvement Assessment and Development Agreement, Public Safety Memorandum of Understanding, and Building and Fire Code Memorandums of Understanding with Xcel Energy. Mr. Steve Albrecht, our Public Works Director, is presenting. Mr. Albrecht.
Madam Mayor, council members, we have a little change to tonight's item. This afternoon we received a request from Xcel to continue this item. The reason for the request is not related to the agreement itself, other than they have come into possession of some easement documents that are very old with CenterPoint Energy that they need to do some additional investigation on to ensure that the land dedications that they've agreed to with the city of Burnsville can be done as stipulated in the agreement. And so that before our council approves that, they want to make sure that there's no hiccups with those land dedications. And so they've asked us to continue it so they can do their due diligence on that research over the next week or so.
Thank you, Mr. Albrecht. Members of the council, I need a motion to continue this item.
Move to continue, but I also want to say you might want to ask Len Nachman if he knows anything about that.
Second.
Councilmember Sherry makes the motion, second by Councilmember Coughlin. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Albrecht. The next item is item number 9, and this is to consider an application for Burnsville Surgical Properties for a plan unit development amendment for a 35,200 square foot expansion to the existing surgery center located at 1,140th Street. We're asked to consider the findings of fact, the ordinance, and a plan unit development amendment. Mr. Chris Slania is presenting this evening. Mr. Slania is our planner. Mr. Slania.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. The Planning Commission did review the project last week at their meeting on the 29th of May. They also held a public hearing on the application. You'll see on the image in front of you the location of the property adjacent to Burnhaven Drive and McAndrews Road. You'll see the site as it exists today. Much of the western side of the site is vacant, which leads us into the expansion proposed. The commissioners did discuss the traffic as well as the stormwater management for the site. There was a neighboring resident that spoke at the public hearing. Mr. Weibel did raise concerns with the screening and the buffering and the visual impact from his property. The commission supported the application 4-1 with the two conditions that were included in your background. I'll give you a brief overview. The expansion will come off the north and the west side of the site. Here's the line of the existing building, and here's the expansion. Landscape plan that didn't show up very well, and then here are three-dimensional renderings of the proposed project. Here's the main entrance as it exists today, and then here's the wing of the addition and the other two sides of the project. These are the two conditions as written in your background. The applicant does have their design team here, and I will stand for any questions the council has.
Members of the council, any questions for Mr. Slania? Councilmember Sherry.
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment, and that is, the plan looks really good. I think that that Commissioner Julich and was responsive to the people who complained, and I did notice nobody came to the neighborhood meeting. So yeah, but I think that they have a point, and the only thing I would ask for would be a few more trees buffering along that edge where the edge of the building is closer to the road, just to give a little more visual relief to the residents on the other side.
Madam Mayor, Council, I believe the applicant is open to that. They alluded to it at the Planning Commission meeting. I'll let them address it if you'd like.
Yeah, thank you.
If the applicant would like to come to the podium, please. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members. My name is Nick Spirides, Spirides Reiners Architects. Happy to be in Burnsville again with another great project.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Spirides. It's good to see you again.
We have addressed the issue with Mr. Slania of the landscaping in response to commission, and our client has no issue responding favorably and placing the trees accordingly. We've agreed to providing a revised landscape plan prior to the submittal of issuance of a permit. So we're in total agreement with whatever needs to be done.
Okay, Councilmember Sherry.
Well, and I do notice with the conditions, one of those was to move the trees to shade the west lot, but I also want to give a little more visual buffer along McAndrews, so I hope we understand that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you.
And perhaps it could be some winter greens. I don't know, because it'll make it a little bit more fuller, and also during the winter time.
Sure. At that area, there's we have our stormwater ponding is also in that area, so we'll respond with trees that provide some buffering, as well as perhaps some coniferous trees that provide green all year round.
Okay. Good. And staff, if you have that, and then
correct. We'll note the change to the first condition to add additional trees.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Mr. Spirides. With that, is there anything else, Council? Unless you have any other comments to make, a motion is in order to adopt the findings of fact, the ordinance, and the approved plan unit development amendment with the conditions that were amended.
Move to approve.
Second.
Councilmember Gustafson makes the motion, second by Councilmember Coughlin. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Thank you. And congratulations. Nice project. Thank you. The next item is item number 10, and members of the council and citizens of Burnsville, this is to appoint members to our advisory boards and commission. And we held interviews on May 29th and interviewed all of the candidates. And out of those interviews, we have this evening appointments to make. And so I would like to begin with the Economic Development Commission. Councilmember Sherry.
Madam Mayor and Council, I would like to recommend appointment of Ken Slipka as a regular member of the Economic Development Commission with a term ending June of 2015. Roger Kleppe as alternate member, term ending June of 2015. And Chris John, alternate member with a term ending of June 2015.
Okay. May I have a
Second. Was that
There's a motion?
Yes.
Second.
Councilmember Coughlin make the second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. The next commission is for the Burnsville Performing Arts Center Commission. Councilmember Gustafson.
It is my pleasure to make a motion to appoint Kathy Cleveland as a regular member, term ending June 2015. Mark Pevin as a regular member with a term ending June of 2015. And Robert Morrison as a regular member, term ending June 2015.
Second.
Councilmember Gustafson makes a motion, second by Councilmember Coughlin. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Planning Commission. Councilmember Sherry.
I move that the following members be named to the Burnsville Planning Commission. Ram Singh, regular member, term ending June of 2015. Chris Tyken, regular member, term ending June 2015. John Corey, moved from alternate member to regular member with a term ending of June 2013. Ben Tahiri, regular member, term ending June of 2013. And Joey White, alternate member, term ending June of 2014.
Madam Mayor,
Councilmember Coughlin.
before we vote and make a second, I'd just like to note for the public that alternate members attend and sit in on all of these commission meetings. The alternate does not just show up if somebody else, a regular member, doesn't make it. I just want to make that clear. So with that, I second the motion.
Councilmember Sherry makes the motion, second by Councilmember Coughlin. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. This is the Heart of the City Design Review Committee. Councilmember Gustafson.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to motion that we appoint Sarah Kiefer, resident member, with a term ending 6 June 2015.
Second.
Councilmember Gustafson makes the motion, second by Councilmember Coughlin. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Parks and Natural Resource Commission. Councilmember Coughlin.
Madam Mayor, I move that the following folks be appointed to Parks and Natural Resources Commission. First, Steve Stuber, a regular member, term ending June 2015. Secondly, Brian Wolf, regular member, term ending June 2015. And the two youth members, one Ivor Cleveland, youth member, term ending June 2013. And the last youth member, Isaac Hawkinson, youth member, term ending June 2013.
Councilmember Coughlin makes the motion.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Gustafson. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Members of our community, these are the new members of the commission, and welcome to all of them. Council members, there are no other item to come before us this evening, and a motion to adjourn is in order.
Move to adjourn.
Councilmember Coughlin makes the motion.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Sherry. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Good night, and thank you for being with us.